Hello everyone, welcome to the Brew Your Market podcast. I'm your host Rakshit and this is our first ever video podcast and it is with a guest and the guest is none other than Sindhu Biswal. He is the growth head of Better Half AI and an amazing growth hacker it seems. And today we're going to talk about this like something that I like the way I have structured the what I'd like to call it is hacking growth hacks.
Okay.
Right, and yeah, welcome to the episode.
Thank you so much. Glad to be the first person to kickstart this.
How you been doing?
All great. It's been 8 months in Bangalore. Just
8 months, that's it?
Yeah.
I thought you were here for a long. Okay, so when you joined Better Half, you came to Bangalore.
Right. So I was 4 months in Better Half. I was working from home. I moved from Mumbai to home. I was just working remotely and then moved here.
Where do you stay?
HSR layout.
No, I mean like home in the sense.
Orissa. There's a city called Cuttack. Born and brought up there.
I mean, I saw that. This thing was that recently when you got featured by Dan in his newsletter, a lot of these this thing was that regional newspapers and everything
they
covered.
covered.
Right?
I guess almost everyone in the regional news covered. It's very big thing in Orissa because if you ask 100 people, do you know LinkedIn? Only 2 of them know. That is one. And second is for getting in TV is a very, very big thing.
Bro, yeah, I saw your this thing on YouTube, like Kalinga TV. Yeah, in that you had this this thing was an interview and stuff. I like, wow, they're massive.
Right. And then Red FM is covering in the morning, and then I'm like, okay, it's a big thing now.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it in the Hindu paper. I was like, okay, crazy, big news. I shared it internally also. They were like, wow, huge. True. And then after now, when I was like this thing, when I was reading up about you and everything before the podcast, I saw Kalinga this. I was like, bro, this is crazy.
I think my Google searches went up a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks to LinkedIn and everyone.
Yeah, I saw 3-4 pages of Sindhu. Like, nice. Okay. Man, so tell me one thing, like, why did you join the growth marketing space and what's your journey been like? How did you get into this whole thing?
I didn't join growth marketing. I think as far as I can remember, there's a word called performance marketing now, which is under digital marketing.
Yeah.
Now, when I was starting, I discovered digital marketing in 2015. I was doing my MBA at that time, and I heard this competition called as GOMC.
Okay.
It's Google's Global Online Marketing Challenge. It's Google's, and the game was simple: that you have to pick 5 students in a university. You have to pick a local seller who has no idea about online. Like let's say a seller who is selling pan masala or aam or a gift shop.
Yeah.
You have to create the website.
Yeah.
And Google will give you 25,000 or 30,000. You have to use that money to increase the sale.
Shit, wow.
And it's a national level competition, one person from one college. And if you win that, you get a job at Google. That was the whole thing.
Okay.
Now the fight was not for the money or something, but to get a job at Google. Because it's glamorous, let's be honest.
Yeah.
So that is the first time I discovered Google search ads. That was my first.
Yeah, that strategy
exposure.
Itself is a great strategy, right? Like to get more
exactly
people online.
Correct. To create more evangelists
exactly.
who can tell you, okay, Google is better and everything. I think that's a great sales strategy.
I know.
From that point of view.
Wow. Like get students itself and
exactly.
that too, and MBA grads.
True. Because these people will be decision makers at some point of time.
Exactly.
And it's much better. But that was my first like very first introduction. I'm a self-taught person, had taken no course in digital marketing.
Shit, okay.
I remember there was a company or an institute called as Digital Vidya.
Okay.
Which was huge. Like that time, if you search best digital marketing institute in India, it will come on the first. And it was charging somewhere around 60,000, 70,000.
Bro, I did a course in digital marketing. From DigiPerform.
Okay.
There's this place, it's in Indranagar as well.
Okay.
And so my thing was like, I was from engineering.
Right.
I was like, I don't want to do engineering. So I took up a course on digital marketing and and then DigiPerform happened but completely different from yours.
And then you, like what they taught?
Sports
everything.
Leader.
They taught everything,
They taught
right?
everything.
Affiliates
I was like,
and everything, right?
that's when Brew Your Market came into being also. Like, so
Acha.
this Brew Your Market concept, my instructor, he was like, come up with like a website. Isme ye sab karo, like social media, everything. That's the best way to practice. I'm like,
Right.
okay, what do we call it? Brewyourmarket.com.
Are you a
And-
coffee fan?
Yeah, I am.
Knew it. High five.
So amazing. Yeah, so that's how it came into being, and then one thing led to another. Yeah.
Got it. I had no exposure on this online stuff and everything because of the simple fact I had no money.
Yeah.
That time. It's simple. I cannot think of going beyond 10 lakhs. Sorry, 10,000.
Yeah.
Because I was already on loan, the MBA loan, which I'm still paying.
Bro, MBA loan.
MBA loans are your life ends. There is MBA loan, and then you take a car. There is car loan, and then it keeps on
House.
adding up. House loan, marriage loan, it will keep on adding up.
Yeah.
A marriage loan is a big thing.
Yeah.
I'm saving for that.
That's in the middle.
That's in the middle, exactly. So yeah, I was introduced to that. But my first job was becoming a generalist. I was doing everything.
Mhm.
It was a startup I joined. We 4 people founded the startup,
Okay.
and I was doing creatives,
Mhm.
business development, sales.
What is it called?
It was called Together.
Okay.
DOGETH. The
Okay.
concept was doing things together.
Uh-huh.
We built a social networking app
Mhm.
which allowed people to meet online on basis of geolocation.
Oh wow.
So a
okay.
musician can meet another musician in next 4 kilometers radius.
Okay, so it's like Tinder but for work.
Tinder, but for work, which has genres of things that you want to do.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Wow.
And we used to call it micro events. There is nothing that you can do. You can't date,
Mhm.
or you can't create a post or a feed or something.
Yeah.
But what you can do is you can create a micro event. So a
Yeah.
guitarist can just put that, hey, I want to jam,
Yeah.
and all of the drummers can see the feed.
Mhm.
Just the drummers, just the musicians,
Yeah.
no one else. And then they will send an accept or a reject
Bro, that
request.
sounds so cool. Why do you stop that?
In India, this is 2015, and people had no idea about social network. Like, this is a decentralized social network.
Yeah.
And the first adaptation we are getting is from US and UK, not from India.
Yeah.
Randomly, organically. I was doing marketing. I think if I do the same thing now, I can do a much better job.
Yeah.
But what happened is eventually we had no idea how to monetize it. We had no idea. There were let's say 60,000 users, and we had no idea how to monetize it.
Yeah.
And that time in India, AdTech was not that big. Like right now, every social networking app has an AdTech. Your
Yeah.
Hotstar has an AdTech and everything.
Yeah.
So we were not able to figure out. Hence, we pivoted. We pivoted to an interesting concept that is called in Airbnb experiences.
Okay.
Which is basically that if you're an expat, you are going to Delhi.
Yeah.
The only thing that you can do is what? Go to movies, theaters, or something.
Mm-hmm.
People want more.
Yeah.
So if you just open Airbnb experiences,
Yeah.
it will show you a bike rider who will just show you
Oh, damn cool.
around Delhi.
Yeah.
A chai wala who will just make you taste multiple chais. You should check it out. It's called Airbnb experiences.
Yeah.
They had limited inventory.
Huh.
Like per city, they were having 4 to 5 events
Huh.
that time, and just 4 cities. We thought, okay, let's pick this up.
Yeah.
We understand micro events pretty well,
Yeah. Exactly.
and let's just scale it. And we did that. We did in 8 cities in India.
Mhm.
Then we scaled to Hong Kong in a partnership with someone. That was pretty well, because now this is a business model event.
Yeah.
We were doing events like ghost walking in Mumbai.
Shit.
So there was a vendor there. We onboarded a crazy vendor who had chartered planes
Yeah.
and helicopters.
Bro, I would pay for such kind of like
Experience, right?
experience
Yeah.
right even now.
Correct.
I mean, like these days, I'd be like, okay, Bangalore, what do I do? I mean, like just go and drink or
Right.
go and eat
Or
something.
go to a Book My Show and Insider and find out.
Exactly, Paytm
Correct.
Insider and like find something. I'm like, what do I do? That's why. And these kind of experiences, which are not just a general theater
Offbeat
and all these offbeat experiences, are
Right. True.
Yeah.
That happened, and that's how Insider happened.
Okay.
Because then I left it,
Mm-hmm.
and then the only company closest to this thing who was doing this thing was Insider.
Uh-huh.
I joined Insider. I was doing music festivals and movies marketing for 6 months,
Okay.
and then Paytm Insider happened. So basically, Paytm had already had stakes in Insider,
Yeah.
but the rebranding happened,
Hmm.
and every marketer was doing part work, like part
Okay.
category marketing in Paytm and part category marketing in Insider.
Okay. Let's say part.
So that's how my first growth happened. So I was handling the app growth of Insider.
Okay.
That was my first stint.
Uh-huh.
So did a lot of growth hacks with Rohan Joshi,
Yeah.
the ex-AIB person.
Hmm.
And yeah, then Pocket Aces happened.
Yeah.
I was in entertainment for 4 years. 4 years.
Shit. Yeah. Hmm.
And then decided, ki, okay, let me move out of entertainment slightly
Yeah.
and then
Why
see
why do you choose to move out of entertainment?
So what has happened is, if you ask any marketer, they will tell you that what I have done is hard. The reason is this, that I have done performance marketing for 1 year at Insider, social media at 1 year at Stretch, not exactly 1 year, one and a half, 1.8 at Pocket Aces. A social media marketing person never gets a job in performance.
Yeah.
A performance marketing person never gets a job in social media.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's relatively easier, kind of.
Yeah. But still, no one accepts you. The
Nobody
reason is
goes for
this.
that, because I mean, you can make
Exactly.
so much more money in performance marketing.
Exactly. Also the knack of understanding is different. Performance marketers very rarely have creative side.
Yeah, it's all about targets,
Data,
goals, and everything.
Correct. I think I got that blend pretty well, which right now is my identity.
Okay.
So after 5 years of work, I understood कि okay, ठीक है. This is what my identity is.
Use
Correct.
both of these.
And then growth evolved, because growth is basically psychology, understanding of product, understanding of social media, understanding of data, a blend of everything. Plus, I have added advantage of being an entrepreneur in my first stint. So it fits pretty well. That's how I just thought, okay, let me do my first growth instant by going to a product company and then see what happens. That's how Better Half happened.
Okay, wow. And that's how Better Half happened. And how long has it been with you?
1.2, 1.4 kind of.
How's the journey been like?
It's great. It's the hardest thing I have ever done.
Yeah.
Because creating social networks is complicated, because what you have to do is, okay, let me put it in very simple context. Let's say if I tell you that you have to sell tickets for a dance party in a pub. Simple कि okay, ठीक है, मैं लगाऊंगा stag entry this much, I will put couple entry this much. I know stag entry is easy to sell, because if I increase the female numbers, males will come. That is an easy thing. But the main game comes from there, that you need to maintain a sex ratio inside a pub for the whole event to happen. You can't just have all the guys, because the girls will feel uncomfortable. You can't have all the girls, because guys will any which ways pay more. Guys pay more actually. That concept exists in dating and matrimony apps, that you need to have a certain sex ratio in a certain area for the matchmaking to happen. Now imagine if there are 5 men from a certain area and there is no woman, the guys won't pay.
Exactly.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then they will leave.
Yeah.
And in the same case, like let's say there are more women but less good responding non-creepy guys, then the women will leave.
Okay.
The hardest job is to just find out.
Exactly. I'm just thinking about. I was going to ask you like how, but then I'm like, that's your job. That's exactly.
No, it genuinely took me at least 6 to 8 months of hit and trial.
Sure. Okay.
To find out how will the marketing work in this model of workplace. Because your female marketing, so here it's gender specific marketing. Your female marketing works differently, your male marketing works differently. The way you acquire both of them is different. The cost is different, budgets are different, creatives are different, communications are different. So for female you have to tell, okay, I'm the safest app. For guys you have to tell, okay, we have more number of women. So, for women you have to say we have less number of men,
creepy men,
less number of men, but extremely high quality, high educated people. So the dynamics work differently there. So to find out and get the psychology also took enough time around that.
I can imagine. I mean, like, especially like even if it's any industry, like getting into a new job itself would be like a pain. Like, I mean, like getting into it and then understanding the whole thing. Uske baad, like, I mean, this thing, what do you call that, going ahead and like building a strategy, and especially when you're the growth head and you're responsible for the app's growth. Correct. It must be like
growth heads insane. In India. I'll tell you what exactly happened. And this is where the reality comes that no one ever understands, and they fantasize this growth hacker and growth head culture. So what happens here is generally Series A, pre-Series A, and lagbhag Series B tak growth team exists. There are very, very rarest companies in India where there is a growth team after Series C, because you don't need. The growth people are needed to fast scale, blitz scale your startup. And hence, the next round of funding is dependent on this person. So the pressure lies a lot on you, like a lot on you. And there is a bigger skill which is not talked about, which is called stakeholder management.
Okay.
In growth. It's not just opening your laptop and just doing your work. You have to get those budgets approved to the founders. Now imagine you're working with a non-marketing founder. Just making him understand why I need budget to do this is a big pain in the ass. So a lot, like that is an acquired skill. Like you just keep on learning with time.
Exactly. And that's not something that, I mean, very few people know that, have knack of that,
True.
right?
I think it will come with age. It will come with age.
Yeah, and also, I mean, not just with age, but with experience, probably.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, I
absolutely.
mean, even if a kid, like, I mean, even if there's a 20-year-old who's been
True.
freelancing all his life and everything and has like a whole lot of, or like even starting a startup from when he was, say, I don't know, I'm just throwing out numbers, 16.
Right.
Then he's had 4 years of experience.
Right,
So, I mean, like, he would be on par with a 29-year-old with like, who started like working in his corporate life and everything, right?
Right. Just the dynamics become very different there. Like, if you ask a lot of founders, they will tell you this particular thing, that I have very bad experience with getting freelancers, and the reason is basically this: why the founders say that. Freelancers understand how to work in solo mode with a lot of people.
Yeah.
The moment you put them into teams, that's a very different ball game altogether.
Yeah.
And managerial skill is very different than solo workers. In freelancers are specialists.
Yeah.
Managers are generalists. You
Yeah.
need to know if there are 8 people, you are responsible for the 8 people.
How you can make them work.
How you can
together.
make them work. You have a big troublesome person. How do you how do you keep him in the team, because he's important,
Yeah.
and you can't let him go.
And also, if there's someone who's not performing well, how do you like
How do you
motivate
mentor
them?
Correct.
Yeah.
That's why it's very, very hard.
Yeah. So tell me this one thing, like to the viewers, like who are like, I mean, even I too, like to an extent, I don't really understand like growth marketing and growth hacking as much, right? So what do you really mean by this term? And like I've heard a lot about it, and you even briefly spoke about it, like it works with a lot of data and like scaling it and everything, blitz marketing. So what is it exactly?
So in very simple terms, growth hacking as a word came first. Growth marketing is a newer word.
Yeah.
I don't know why it is a newer word. I think it's just people's over abused growth hacking.
Yeah.
Hence they
And
just said,
hacking has
okay,
a
I'm
wrong
marketer,
connotation
marketer.
also, right?
Correct. Also, I'll just tell you the realistic terms. So what happened is growth hackers came into existence because of simple reason that, hey, companies in the early stages have lesser money. Hence they wanted someone who has that jugadu mindset with a multiple skill, so that I'm not hiring a bunch of people, and I'm using less funds to achieve the larger targets or something like that. That was the only reason. That's why. And generalists are hard to find. Like it's super hard to find a generalist. It's not that easy if people think.
Yeah, I mean, people try to get consultants and all for this particular reason, right? Correct.
Exactly. The only difference is a consultant is very good on theory. Like there are very, very few consultants who you will pay more, obviously, who have that practical expertise. They come from a certain industry. Like for an example, let's say if you have to get a crypto consultant, there are not a lot of people. Like there are only specialist people. And the age bracket is lesser. So you will not get a 40-year person because unka time is different. He has not understood
Industry
crypto.
bahut nahi hai na?
Exactly. So that's how the context changes there. So the growth hacking came first in India. And startups like MPL, Dream11 started hiring for these folks and started grooming up. And then I think eventually the leaders found out that, okay, the designation is very tricky. Like I can't put growth hacker executive, growth hacking executive, senior growth hacker. It doesn't work that way. Hence growth marketer became very easy, because what happens in company, the department is called marketing. So then it's easy for me. Growth marketing executive, senior growth marketing, then you eventually make them a CMO. So that's why it came into existence, and that's how it has shaped up.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
But there are still very few companies who have a decided growth path or career path for growth hackers. Otherwise, you will see people just coming, living in 2 years.
Exactly. Since you mentioned, right, like, I mean, it's only relevant till Series A, Series B.
Exactly.
What after that? What happens after that?
You convert yourself into marketing designation. That's all.
Okay.
That's
and
all. So you don't vanish. Like,
okay.
You
of course.
are still there.
But then, I mean, like, if you are passionate about growth marketing, that's when like these people leave, right?
Correct.
Like after 2 years or something.
Correct. What I have seen is, okay, let's say if I'm head of growth right now, I can be head of marketing next. My job is still the same. I may be a slightly better head of marketer, because a normal head of marketer comes from a different understanding that, okay, they can operate with a certain budget. Let's say I have the skill to operate at a lesser budget also. So it just changes. Nothing else changes. Everything else remains the same. That's all.
So how do you do that? Like, I mean, like, say lesser budget, and like, what is your strategy like? Like just basic.
So in growth, there are three terms that is understood. There are a lot of other frameworks also. So let me just put the three terms. One is called a hack, which is basically that you do that particular thing for one time and it worked.
Okay.
Not necessarily if you repeat it will work also.
Yeah.
Let's say for an example, you are writing a LinkedIn post. You wrote a certain kind of a hook line using a certain kind of a smiley or an emoticon. It worked once.
Yeah.
Zaruri nahi hai that if you repeat it will
फिर से
work.
होगा, हाँ.
So that's a hack. But there is something called loop.
Okay.
If you know that writing a hook in the first sentence works, you will repeat the hook. That's a loop. Then you know, okay, my content writing format of LinkedIn is that I have to write a hook first and then comes and then a CTA is there at the end. So then
like
you have a
build
format.
a structure, like a formula.
Exactly. This is not the kind of text you will write on an Instagram.
Yeah.
You don't need to. This is not the kind of style that you will write on YouTube. On YouTube, a model will be different. That there is thumbnail.
Yeah.
And in thumbnail, I can't put a lot of keyword stuffing.
Yeah.
So I will write 3 to 4 words ka clickbaity
Yeah.
words. The colors I will use is different.
Yeah.
So these are the kind of hacks you understand for one product. And then if you figure out that it works every time, you create a methodology where if you are not there, it scales.
Yeah.
For an example, in any app,
automated, right? Like
exactly.
Basically.
So in every app you check, there is something called referral systems. That as simple as on Cred, if you refer to someone, they give you 500 rupees or a 300 rupees.
Yeah.
And everyone who has figured out their own way. Like Oyo might be giving you some discounts on your next purchase or something like that. That is a loop. That okay, theek hai, I can increase my installs there. There is a particular benefit out of that loop. If the person is sleeping also, that loop works.
Yeah.
That's a basically a loop. And there are multiple types of loop. You can build referral systems. You can build leaderboards. Leaderboards are basically on cult, let's say.
Yeah.
And this is where the psychology comes into place. That let's say if I have to tell you, let's say you did 10 push-ups.
Yeah.
And I wrote a copy that, hey Rakshit, you did 10 push-ups today.
Yeah.
Your intent to share that particular screenshot, keep it in A. Okay.
Yeah.
Versus I wrote, hey Rakshit, you did 10 push-ups. Do you know no one was able to complete this in your area?
Wow.
So the intent to share this is extremely high.
Yeah.
Because the trigger, there is something called nudge in the psychological theories. The nudge here is not Rakshit doing 10 push-ups. The nudge here is
not, you were
exactly. You are the only one who did
you're
it.
the only one. Yeah.
This is where the hacks and psychological triggers and nudges come into place, and you can keep on implementing around the products.
So, Sindhu, tell me about your experience with Nutshell. Like, this thing was that like you grew Nutshell and everything, right? So, what's your this thing with that suggestions that you would like to give to infotainment creators and like what you did in Nutshell and everything?
Okay, there's a funny story there. I was handling growth for Filter Copy, Dice Media, Gobble. There, and then one day the CEO comes and the founders team is sitting, and then we get a brief that okay, we have to grow 2 new channels from scratch. And then I was the only person who had an idea of growing things from scratch, because I was building something called as live interactive game shows at Paytm.
Okay, wow.
Which was basically that okay, on a real time you can watch Rohan Joshi doing a comedy gig, and you can send him your testimonials. You can ask him to do certain stuff, real time feedback happening.
Oh wow. Okay.
So the idea was okay, if content and reality can happen together in a live format, can we see what happens next? But again, coming to Nutshell, so what happened is the brief was there is Vox in India, which is pretty big. And there is Discovery in India. Now Discovery and National Geography has moved from being just your animal wildlife stuff to infotainment. Like you will see there is a show called Oh Mera India or Oh My India, I guess. Krishna hosts that.
Yes.
Which is basically the perfect combination of comedy plus insights plus entertainment. So TV has cracked that pretty well. And that's why you follow, let's say, Adhruv Rathi. That's why you follow Abhi and New and everything. These are the big infotainment channels of India. So the idea was okay, let's build something like a Vox but in Hindi.
Okay.
So गाड़ियाँ इंडिया में ब्रूम ब्रूम आवाज क्यों करती हैं, why there's not a something else sound, why, how does an economics of poha work, रोटियां फूलती क्यों हैं, these questions which is very relatable to every household. That was the brief. Second brief, it should resemble with everyone. So I'm not talking about Harley Davidson में इतने सेल क्यों हैं, that is a different level of content. We want to keep it for massy generalized audience. And we were thinking of names, and then Nutshell came to the idea. I guess the first name we thought was something around almonds or something. I don't remember exactly. Because we're thinking, okay, brain ke around pe kya hoga. So
is that why nut came into place?
Correct. So we started that. Right now there's a big team. Right now there is Andre Borges from your BuzzFeed, and pretty big people. It was when we started, it was just me. Ronak was helping some bit of time, and then there were two other people who were filter copywriters, just out of passion, seeing where it goes. And at least 30 days of research went into that. Me just going to Google Trends, seeing, okay, what are the trend
one
patterns.
Video?
Just to see, okay, what is the video sequence? What should be the first video that we launch?
Okay.
Because the idea is this, that what I feel genuinely that, and a lot of content creators might resemble, that if you are doing a production shoot, not a reel that you are walking and then recording randomly, you are putting a lot of efforts and time into it. You want that video to be watched by at least 500 people.
There's this Nasir Hussain.
Right.
So we had this creator accelerator program at work, and in that, like, there was a segment where he was explaining like what goes into a good video, right?
Right.
He said 10 hours goes into making one particular video. Like his one whole video, it takes 10 hours for him to make one. And
I'm sure.
That's madness, right?
True.
Yeah.
Now imagine he getting 5 views. they won't sleep. They won't sleep.
Yeah.
Right. That was the whole panic. That's the panic that I have. That, okay, and that's the learning that I have right now. I'm not much focusing into content creation. That is still easy. You have your writers, you have your videographers, editors. They know their stuff. They will do it. The hardest part is distribution. Now, distribution is not that if you create a 1 crore budget movie and you upload on YouTube, you will get views. It doesn't work that way. But the problem is, then if your team's effort has gone into it, they will get demotivated.
Exactly. I know.
Hence, I was putting a lot of effort of time to see, okay, kahan pe words hain, what are the searches volume that people already have. And we find out that roti searches is pretty high.
Wow.
The searches around roti. So in India, that time, I mean, if in lockdown, if you do a lockdown check on Google Trends, and if you see what are the things that people in India were searching, it was not how to make paneer butter masala. It was how to make steamed rice. How to make a roti circle. The reason is very simple, that no one in India cooks. So people are asking basic stuff. My roti is hard. How to make it soft? That's all. But let's say if you're not checking data, you're a content creator. If you're a chef, आप सीधा जाके कढ़ाई पनीर बनाओगे पहला video. While your first video should be how to cook a rice. Then how to cook a jeera rice, how to cook something else. That type of so data-driven decision. And then we see, okay, roti kyun phoolta hai also has a good search results. That is the initial video we put out. And then we figured out कि okay, ऐसे काम करने से होता है. What is a 20-second hack or the hook you need to mention in the YouTube video that will work. How to create videos which will make more retention. Because in comedy, you have punch ups and punch downs. Hence, your retention can be somewhat static because you know, okay, this is coming.
Exactly.
The excitement is high. In infotainment, you can go very boring, like super boring, super flat, if you don't craft that particular piece.
I know.
So that took a lot of time.
Storytelling takes a lot of work.
Oh,
right?
actually. And then the problem what happens with the creators is, if you are very how do I say, an emotional creator who is into writing zone, who does not understand how the perception of consumption work, then they will do, like, they will just write plain, while there's a reason. Like, for an example, Abhi and News video, if you see, in the first 15 seconds they create okay, this is what you will expect, and the video is very fast motion, super duper fast jump cuts. There is a very fast upbeat music that is running, exactly what Mr. Beast does. Mr. Beast changes frame in every second, like every fast motion second. So you know what is coming. You have that enthusiasm and excitement.
What's gonna happen next?
Exactly. These things you learn with time, and these things we were learning with time and everything. And these are the hacks. that
Got
you understand कि okay, in first 15 second what is gonna come,
Hmm.
where do I place my CTA, is it in between, should
Yeah.
I put a full screen title slate link subscribe,
Hmm.
or what if I don't say subscribe?
That takes a lot of testing also, right? Like A/B testing, बहुत
Correct,
बार, and then
correct,
that's
correct.
when you come up with
Correct.
like one.
So for an
structure.
example, I'll tell you one growth study that we're doing is thumbnail studies.
Huh.
Text should be on the left and image of the creator should be on the right,
Hmm.
or vice versa.
Yeah.
We did that study for at least 7 days to just figure out ki, okay, what should be the text to image ratio.
Yeah.
And then we figured out. And then we launched that particular thing on filter copy.
Yeah.
And then we saw an uplift of aram se 4% CTR.
Wow. Okay.
Then we did tests around colors.
Hmm.
There is something called pattern interrupt in marketing psychology,
Huh.
which basically says that don't care about your brand color.
Hmm.
Care about what interrupts the pattern.
Got it.
So if people are searching, imagine on Facebook people are just
Scroll
scrolling.
stoppers, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And no one has seen a neon color.
Huh.
The moment a neon color ad comes, you will stop.
Stop. Yeah.
But the moment a blue color ad comes, you won't
You'll
stop.
just scroll. Huh.
The reason is
Right.
Facebook's bar is by default blue.
Yeah.
So it's just merging with that.
Yeah.
So these are the small hacks that you just do a lot of tests and you find out. And that's the exact thing we were doing on Nutshell.
There's a video in which I was watching of yours in which you'd mentioned about viral loops.
Right.
So, what are viral loops and how can they be optimized?
Okay. Viral loops are more of product centric things. Exactly like I just mentioned, the referral loops that you see.
You mentioned that, yeah.
Huh. But generally, how the framework works is like this.
Yeah.
You do a lot of growth hacks. You do a lot of viral hacks. Small. Let's do a use case for an example. Let's say I'm building an app, something like a Zomato. Okay. Exactly an app where you can order the food.
Yeah.
I want to increase, and the first thing that goes into the growth is you have to pinpoint which data you are trying to hit, so that you know your KPIs and you know what to measure.
Yeah.
If you don't know what to measure, it's just randomly shooting in the dark.
Yeah.
And it won't work.
Yeah.
If I'm shooting for app launches, I want to increase my app launches because my data says that a lot of people are not launching my app. Then my tactic is different. Then my channel of communication is, okay, should I do a lot of push notifications which are interesting? Because people are not launching my app.
Yeah.
If they don't launch the app, what will I show them inside the app?
Yeah.
If my app launches are figured out,
Yeah.
but people are not spending enough time on the app,
Retention.
then I'm shooting for retention.
Yeah.
And that's the reason Cred has come up with these games, slot machines and everything.
I think even Zomato is also doing that now, right? Like
Zomato was doing a prediction during IPLs and
Abhi, like, no, when there are predictions now, when IPL is not going on, they like after, or was it Swiggy or something, like after you place an order, like
there is a slot machine.
Slot machine
to give you a voucher.
It gives you a voucher.
Correct. So what does it solve? It gives you 20 seconds extra time.
Yeah.
Plus it gives you a voucher which solves your next purchase.
Yeah.
So it is solving for two things: app retention and a voucher increase. This is a loop.
Yeah.
The loop is, I got you on my app for the first order. I told you that on your first order I will give you 120 rupees discount. You took the order. I know my customer acquisition cost there because 120 is my cost now. I'm bearing that cost. So the cost of getting you on the app, which is cost per install, plus giving you a voucher, I got that particular thing. Now I need to make sure I get that 120 back. So what I will do, I know ki, okay, if second time I charge without discount model, you might not come. So what I will do, I will try to find out ki, okay, what is Rakshit interested in more? Is he interested in biryani or is he interested in gulab jamun and everything? Whatever he's more interested in, I will give a discount on that. You like that particular fact, and then I will try to put biryanis on the top. I'll try to build the habit. Once I know the sweet spot, okay, now I have figured out how Rakshit works. He launches my app on this time. He searches for this time. He searches for this thing, looks for this thing. He's a discounty user. So what we do is we call it power profiles.
Okay.
People who are discount goers, different power profile. People who are looking for great food, no discount, different power profile. People who are looking for freebies. There are certain cohorts of people who are like, मेरे को discount नहीं चाहिए, give me a free gulab jamun. That is the reason on Zomato you will see 3 kind of discounts. There is heavy discount on a cap.
There's it on time on free also, right?
Correct. There is buy one get one. Then there is a free stuff. So if you're a dessert lover, if I don't give you a discount, but if I give you a free gulab jamun, you will take it. This is how you build loops. because then I am sticking you to the app. I'm getting a second order, third order, fourth order by every time incentivizing you, and you're happy.
Damn cool. I didn't know that. Like every person has a different, UI or experience.
Every person has a different experience. You can open 5 apps on 5 different phones. Just make sure your friends have different kind of a taste. You will see the homepage is absolutely different. That is exactly on Netflix also. The Netflix recommendation
Netflix,
model is different.
Yeah, that's what.
All the e-commerce apps are like that. Specifically Zomato and Swiggy. Like specifically Zomato, you can just watch it pretty clear.
Damn cool. Wow. And okay, now I have this question for you. Like, what is some of the best growth hacking strategies that you've seen that companies do? You spoke about Zomato just now, but that's just a case study that you took. What are some of the best things that you've seen till now?
I think there are a lot of lot of people have done a lot of stuff in micro silo stuff things, and I think in India, obviously we are still like trying to build a product culture. India was not a product centric culture. Let's be very honest. Like 5 years, 6 years, 7 years back, we were like, okay, we'll put R&D. We'll put a great team. The team works separately. There is marketing working separately. Marketing team ka kaam is just to get the user. Uske baad kya ho raha hai? We don't care. Now marketing team is responsible for if the user is sticking, if the user is paying, which puts a lot of pressure on the marketing team also, which is ROA centric model, return on ad investment. So right now we are moving to that model, which now we have started figuring out what are the growth hacks and everything that have stuff. There are a lot of upper funnel, which is your user acquisition ads that has been made, which decreases the cost of the ad. What do I mean by this? For an example, let's say cred ads. Now cred ads for me is a great upper funnel ad. Another example, Jar App's ad. Jar App has actually created some great ads with Nawazuddin Siddiqui's and everything.
And very recently I saw on LinkedIn that some people have changed
Chief Vasuli officer and everything.
Everyone's changed their tag, right?
Correct. That is also a great growth hack. Now imagine if you have 300 people in a company and 300 people create a great impact.
Exactly.
Now imagine all of the people in India who are working in Reliance. If they go on a spree,
gone. Like it'll be a buzz for a month.
True. Great example, Facebook, which is Meta now. Meta has partnership right now with Jio, and they cracked the WhatsApp commerce thing. Every customer solutions person was posting about that, and everything has 600 likes or something on LinkedIn. Now you got free ka marketing done. Matlab, at least my guess is 5 lakh, 10 lakh people must have seen the whole thing.
Easily.
Done pura ka pura. This is low cost growth hacks that I'm talking about. That people have done great stuff in silos, small stuff. Some people doing something in sales. Some people doing something in other teams and everything. But according to me, the upper funnel great people who have cracked is actually Jar App and your Cred and a lot of people. The lower funnel, which is referrals, I think Jar App has actually cracked it pretty well. If you see the flow, onboarding flow and the first investment, after first investment, the copies they send you, the referrals they work on is great. I love the productivity apps ecosystem. If you have ever used Headspace and Meritopia, I love Meritopia. So what Meritopia does is this basically. Let's say you meditate. You meditated for the first time for 5 minutes. They will tell you that, hey, a big card will come where your name is written, Sindhu. You meditated for 5 minutes. This is the biggest achievement. You should be talking about it to people. And then there is something called share on Instagram story. So what they have done is extremely pinpointed, not share. Because what happens is this, there is a concept in growth that if you increase steps, you will decrease actions. So if you put share, there is share, you hit on the share, then a big box opens up.
Exactly. Where do you want to share? That's where the main confusion happens.
Exactly. But let's say if I focus on say okay, share on WhatsApp, you will see an increase on WhatsApp shares. So what they have done is Instagram story shares. They share quotes. So what they see is this, that people who are into the spirituality arena and productivity arena and people who are very very focused, they consume a lot of motivation content. Like a lot of motivation content. What if I show you motivation content and if I tell you that, hey, you have never heard about this quote, would you like to share it? And then the moment you share it, Meritopia नीचे आ रहा है.
Huh.
These are very very interesting hacks
Damn cool.
that has been done. And the cult
Yeah.
apps
Yeah,
hack
you
of
mentioned about
leaderboard,
that.
leaderboard games, a lot of games.
Oh yeah, games do a lot of these things. I mean, like
True.
when I was working at Garena, like I saw how they were like, I mean, like getting people back also by just this and giving these notifications. And like even we were doing that in social media as well, by posting more content related, having giveaways,
Right.
having all these things, so that
Correct.
people come back and people use more and they share it with their friends and everything.
True. But though I'm a big fan of non-incentivizing models,
Yeah.
because it is easy for me to pay 500 and get you back.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to build that habit ki, okay, you are coming to the app just for the money.
I know. Yeah.
And
that
it's very
happens
hard to
sometimes.
let go afterwards.
Yeah.
Like imagine, like everyone knows, the day Swiggy and Zomato stops giving this discounts, and if that day is something that every restaurant launches their own app, and then people will start going there if they give discounts. So it's a very discount heavy apps and everything. So yeah.
Cool. So Sindhu, we've talked in length about growth hacking. Now let's talk about content, content making and content that you've been into, right? So, how is creating content helped you, and like, what's your journey been like in content creation, and what are your
Right.
goals?
Nice question. What are my goals?
Yeah.
There's no goal. I think with time, I was into content creation before because I think inside me there exists an artist, because just how I grew up, like I was doing sketching. I wanted to get into game design.
Okay.
I saw that okay, game design is very very expensive to study. Then I dropped it. But with time I have understood distribution is everything.
Yeah.
If I have distribution, I can sell anything. I remember my ex CEO, my ex boss used to tell me that do not complain about someone having distribution and doing shitty content. There is nothing called shitty content. It's either relevant content or irrelevant content. That's all. Because there is always an audience for every kind of content. It might be irrelevant for you. You can just unfollow.
Yeah.
You have that option. But what matters is distribution. If you think that this is what the problem is, like for an example, let's say if you think that okay, early 20-year people are talking about marketing which they have never done, and if you think that okay, that is wrong because a lot of people are following that and that is not the right thing, rather than complaining, build your distribution and say the right thing.
Exactly.
That is a much better strategy, and that's what I'm chasing. That's all. I think there is a lot of wrong conception about salaries, about designations, about how people earn, about how to get into growth or marketing, how to grow, what is marketing, what is branding. A lot of wrong misconceptions have been happening around, which puts me into a spot that okay, I think there are two goals on this. One is, if a lot of people do good marketing, then market salaries increase.
Yeah.
If market salaries increase, my salary increase because I'm able to have an added advantage. So my thinking of competition is very different.
Yeah.
If competition dies, then I'm the only one who is earning high money. So everyone will be like, yaar, isko itna paisa kyun dein? If I normalize paying 30 lakhs to everyone is normal, then I can earn 60 lakhs.
Exactly.
So I'm going into that motive.
There's selfish motivation as well.
Correct. Correct. And hence I want to build a lot of people. And second is, with time I genuinely figured this out, that initially when I was learning, a lot of content creators helped me in some or the other way. Now I think it's my responsibility to give to the niche ka generation or the youngest generation back. That's all. And I am not that person ki okay 50s mein jaake sochenge kya karna hai. I'm like okay, on the go you can do. So what I do is on LinkedIn I do professional content, which is around content, everything I know. I don't want to be into a certain thing. I think you are a marketer.
Yeah.
You should know how to sell, how to do marketing for a restaurant business, how to also do marketing for an app, also a game, also a content business. I don't want to restrict myself. I think if I restrict myself, that is a problematic for my end. That is on LinkedIn. On Instagram, on YouTube, I'm slightly open-ended because I read a lot of stuff about economics, philosophy and everything. So I'm doing open-ended content. That is just for me. I don't care about distribution. 300 views aaye, 200 views aaye, 20 views aaye, I don't care. But yeah, that's all. Awesome. I was into Shairi before.
Wow.
I do that.
What's your what's one Shair that the single, that Shairi that you have still in your mind? Your favorite one?
There is a page called Jashn-e-Rekha.
Okay.
Or I forgot the name. It's on Twitter, it's on Instagram. Pretty big page, huge. and मैं उसको regularly follow करता हूँ.
हाँ.
I love Gulzar.
हाँ.
I think I'm more driven towards dark shairis. Also I think most shairis are dark. I think written by
Heartbreak.
people, heartbroken people.
Yeah.
In my company, I was having this chat with the CTO, and he was telling me an insight that have you ever noticed that the shairi phase goes like this? You go into first relationship, first breakup, shairi. You are the most creative peak. Then you start finding for marriage.
Yeah.
Then you are the lowest creative peak. And that cannot be a coincidence.
Oh man, yeah, I didn't think about this, but this makes sense.
So yeah, that's how my content is, but it's very open-ended. I consume infotainment. I consume J. Krishnamurti at same time. I consume reels at same time.
Bro, totally.
Crypto at same time.
No, I understand. Like I like to have like this diverse palette.
True.
As I'd like to say, because like, see, I mean, if you're just consuming one type of content, you will just keep thinking about that. And
only.
especially when you're in the content space and the marketing space.
Correct.
And social media or what, like in the marketing space itself, you need to like expose yourself to different type of content.
Correct.
Only then you'll get these ideas, you'll get like different things, you'll know what to do.
Correct.
You never know, you might get an idea or like some spark from the food industry.
True.
While you might be in tech, right?
True. I think it's interchangeable. The reason growth people exist because they read, like, okay, if you don't understand how business work, you cannot exist in a growth role. Like, you just can't exist because your KPI is not to get users.
Yeah.
Your KPI is to get users make them stick on the app and get money out of them. So if you don't understand how money works also, it's
you
very
need to
hard.
understand every channel, right?
Correct.
Basically.
Correct.
Yeah.
So recently I just I started my investments into self upskilling.
Okay.
Some I invested 15,000 course day before yesterday.
Okay, 15,000 courses or like 15,000 rupees?
No, 15,000 rupees I just paid. That's my largest investment in one go. Like, I have paid 500, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 max for a course in one go. But then I'm increasing.
MBA?
Sorry?
MBA? That would be your largest.
Two things are absolutely different. MBA you did because of pressure. Now I don't have the pressure. Now whatever I'm learning, it's just for the passion. कि okay, खत्म करना है. MBA was different. Yeah. But MBA taught me a lot though. I'm not that MBA versus startup wala person. Because I
see so many people who are like, you can learn so much from startups. Like, you don't need to do MBA.
World is not polarized. World is never
I mean,
polarized.
like, it's great.
True.
Right? It's not black or white.
True.
Yeah.
My comments on those, like, everyone knows, it's a hack also. On LinkedIn and on Twitter, it's a hack. MBA versus startups ke baare mein post karo, it will fly.
Bro, like, at one point, even I was also like, chal, let's Google this. Like, is MBA worth it? I should do this. Like, initially.
And it works on every content.
Yeah.
It works on Quora, it works on
I
Twitter.
was just going to say that, yeah.
It works everywhere because people are actually interested. And my stance is simple. Hey, I have done both. So, and I don't have a side. There exists no side. It's very nuanced. For example, MBA worked well for me because I did not know how to speak English and Hindi when I was doing my BBA. So my change of personality was massive.
Yeah.
I came from an extremely small town where hugging culture was not normal. So MBA taught me how to hug and if hugging is normal also. But for someone who is from Mumbai, Delhi, normal. So your delta of change will be different.
Yeah.
So you just can't expect everyone in the same go.
Of course. Yeah, that makes sense. So, okay. I have this question for you. How has content creation helped you in your professional journey?
Right. A lot. That's a good thing. So what my journey has been like, doing just my stuff, delivering results, and then going back. The moment I start doing content, because I'm a marketer, it keeps my creative brain like in place.
Yeah.
So what happens in that, if I do like some kind of a self introspection, so what happens is, in marketing, what we do, you do copywriting, you do creative thinking.
Yeah.
If you are able to do that for yourself, you know how the craft works.
Yeah.
One. Second, if you are a creator by yourself, you will not treat another creator or an influencer weirdly or badly when you are doing the job as an agency.
You know how hard it is.
Yeah. So for an example, creation works as an independent job. It is not that okay, you ask a creator that okay मुझे शाम के 7 तक ये idea चाहिए और आ जाएगा. You need that spark क्योंकि spark आएगा. So just give the time. If I'm not doing that, then I'll behave like a complete old school person.
इतनी जल्दी क्यों नहीं आ रहा?
इतनी जल्दी क्यों नहीं आ रहा and everything. ये link डाल दो इस पे. I want clicks and everything. So you will not do right justice to that. That is part 2. Part 3 is it helps me in articulation. The more content I create, the more my articulative mind is. And what I have understood with time is, if you just go to your work, you come back, your muscle memory gets on the repetitive zone. That okay, you know, okay, you click on this ad, this will happen. You click on that ad, that will happen. This is the way to write copy. Your brain works like a playbook. If you create original content, your playbook is changing every day. So it reflects at your work. It completely reflects at your work. You can do original thinking, critical thinking. You can do.
That's the reason why I'm also doing this, right?
It's. Like, I think with time, everyone agrees that it helps you
become more creative at work.
True. Also, it helps the founders and everything, and hence I genuinely feel that founders should not stop. Like, I know for a fact there are a lot of founders who are like, okay, if you spend this much of time on Instagram doing your stuff, it's hampering my job, and then they do a ruckus. It is helping you. The reason he is performing well
is because
of this. Don't take it away from them. Ulta force other people to start creating more content.
Or like at least do something creative so that like you can like this thing become more creative and like
Correct.
It's very, at least for me, it's therapeutic as well, because
Absolutely.
I'm like doing something, otherwise I'll be always thinking about work.
Right.
Now doing this, I'm thinking about this, okay, what do I do, how do I grow this? So it's like complete distraction from work.
True.
And like I can focus on this as well. So
True.
and then when I come back to work, I'll be fresh, I'll be able to think more
True.
ideas and think
True.
things properly.
True. But I think what is most important thing that being a content creator does is you are running your own startup. You are figuring out the logo, you're figuring out the brand name, you are spending time into it, you are figuring out partnerships, sales, understanding algorithm, understanding data. Whenever there is a new launch on Facebook and says that okay, hey, we have opened out a new analytics, you are curious to understand, okay, analytics, okay, what is this thing, googling it. So there's a lot of, it's a full-time startup in itself actually. How the tax filing works, you have earned a lot of money, how to file it right, how to get the payrolls right, your client is not giving you money, how to chase, how to negotiate. There's a lot of soft skills at scale it works.
Especially if you have a team, like how do you manage the team? What do you tell them? Like how do you, like you have your thoughts, you have your ideas, how do you get them to like even like bring that into life, right?
True.
So all that, man. Okay, so what's your process been like with content creation? Like how do you go about it?
It has changed a lot. Right now I don't have a process actually. Right now.
Okay.
I used to have a process at some point of time. Then I figured out my creation should not have a process. What happens after creation should have a process. So I have a process for distribution. I don't have a process for creation.
Then what's your...
So how I operate is this, that okay, I know for a fact, okay, let's talk about LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, I know I will do at least 4 content. I was not doing 3 content, I was doing 1 to 2 content. And that was on Hootsuite. So I know कि okay, I'm just coming back from office, auto में हूँ, and then दिमाग में कुछ आया, फटाफट डालो Hootsuite में, schedule करो and everything done. Now I have started moving towards नहीं चलो ठीक है, let me try to do videos, let me try to shoot, articulate more and everything. Because random thoughts are for Twitter, articulated thoughts are for LinkedIn. That's why it needs to be separated properly. And writing hook lines, you have to sit and think, okay, this is the hook line that will work.
Exactly.
And you can do random hook lines, but you will see it is not working a lot of time. So you have to dumb down the hook line also. So that is mostly the content creation part. But after the creation, so let's say a video has gone out. Now I think from a multi-channel perspective, because I do LinkedIn, I do YouTube, Instagram and everything. What I do is, so I look as personal branding, not as a content creation. Only 20%, 30% of content creation for me is personal branding.
Got it.
Now my at least 70 to 60% is other stuff, partnerships, writing books, writing ebooks with other companies, doing a lot of guest lectures. There was a time I just pitched to a lot of startups ki, okay, can I come to your company and just train your marketing team for free? That's all. Now the idea is this: imagine 10 startups in Bangalore, 50 people in marketing team at least for an average. 50 into 10 is equal to 500. 500 marketers knows me. I have shaked hands with them. The impact I have made there and the result of network effect it has after that, partnerships ho, hiring ho, jo bhi ho, is massive versus content creation. Now my understanding of content creation is different. I am not aiming for 1 million. And the model is simple. There is very famous line of Kunal Shah that India for a long time now has been trained to be in millions, crores, but they are not paying users.
Like your 1,000 this thing with the paying people, right? Like
correct.
That concept. You just need 1,000 people to pay.
You just need 1,000 people to pay. It's so my model has changed that okay, can I build a sub community out of it, whatever I'm doing?
Community building is a big thing.
Exactly. My content creation has a community angle. So on WhatsApp, I run 2 communities. One is growth community where all the growth leaders are there. That is to figure out okay, if they can help each other in jobs or partnerships or anything. Then is another community called Women in Growth. Now this is what I started recently. When I found out that okay, if growth and marketing is a creative line, there should be a lot of females. Why there is no 50% thing happening? Because performance marketing is dominated by males. Like 10 males and 2 females in there. And then I started figuring out that what people have done is social media and brand marketing is female.
I know.
And then analytics part is males. So I started this WhatsApp group. I just dropped a random LinkedIn post saying that, hey, I will mentor females for free. Would you like to join this WhatsApp group? I have 50 people now.
If people don't know you, that would be so creepy.
I know. So the recent thing that happened on LinkedIn, Shantanu's post, I was just thinking the same thing. Okay, this could have happened wrongly, but what I did is, I think so. What I have always done on LinkedIn is clarifying all the nuances that can come. कि okay ना ये बाद में मेरे को वो issue So I clarify all of the things. So I have clarified that okay, I see less women in growth, hence I am running this channel for this. Now imagine me randomly saying okay, opening an account just for females.
They were like creep alert, red flag.
फिर mails आ जाएंगे why there is not for males and everything.
Correct.
So that's my process.
Got it.
Build distribution, convert that into community, and I have a funnel approach. Ki, okay, if my monthly views of content has 1 lakh, how many people I'm converting? And how many people are paying me? That's all.
Damn cool. Okay.
The moment I see that okay, the conversion part is less, I have to fix this. The moment I see that the paying part is less, I have to fix this. But I need to make sure payment is coming. If the payment is not coming, there is no reason for this. Then I would do, then I will just go all out. Then मेरे को marketing content नहीं बनाना है. Then I can just dance and sing and do anything that I want. So I think I look at content as a purpose-driven activity.
Got it.
So yeah, that's all.
Awesome. Okay, so Sindhu, see, we've been talking in length about like content creation, growth marketing, and everything. What about like let's talk about these creators and like why it works, because you've been analyzing content. I saw that even in your pocket aces, like I was going through your LinkedIn, and that you mentioned like you analyze content and everything as well. So why do you think why do you think big pages like Think School and is working? Like, what do you think about Think School? Let's start from there.
So there is a big rise you must have seen of case study models. So there is Think School, then there are a ton of 2 to 3 other creators. I don't remember. I can picturize them.
I know.
वो नाम याद नहीं आ रहा. What is more interesting is people are interested in the case studies, and the reason is this. What happened is we had a good bull run, and in the bull run everyone was putting money. In that bull run, everyone knew about Zomato, Paytm and everything. So people were more drawn towards startups. And a lot of glamours happened, unicorns hai, koi BMW deta hai and everything. This stuff happened. So collectively, what happened is when everyone crashed, like let's say Ola crashed, electric and this. People like to make someone, like Kunal Shah has this quote.
Why did it crash?
So Kunal Shah has this great quote where he says that इंडिया में लोगों को भगवान बना के विसर्जन करने में बड़ा मजा आता है. So you make someone god and then you just make them just kill them. that's exactly, you will see a lot of
rise and fall of this
rise and fall
company.
of this company, and that content works. You will see the thumbnails look like red color background,
Yeah.
where Vijay Shekhar Sharma's eyes are like red, and they have made them evil, and that's the clickbait. And some theories, the case studies that they do is great actually. Like Think School does great case studies and everything, but I think this whole unit of understanding how this business is working has
there's this creator called Jake Tran. He
Okay.
does exactly that. Like, I mean, he takes all these crime, controversial topics and
right.
everything, and he talks about all these things, right? Like on YouTube, but it's not Indian, of
Right,
course.
right.
But he talks about like different things. Like Monaco was like some influential. Was that family over there? The rise and fall.
Right,
And it's
right.
like, I don't know. I don't care about Monaco, but I just watched it.
Valuetainment is a channel also similar, right?
Yeah.
Similar model.
What
similar
about
model.
Dhruv Rathi? What do you think about his content?
Similar model.
I know.
Similar model. He just changes the whole context. Not startups or politicians.
Yeah.
Rise and fall of this politician. Not rise also, fall of this politician and everything. Two things. On YouTube, the Hindi zone is bigger than the English zone.
Yeah.
So
regional
obviously
zone. Like I even heard that like Malayalam content creators
is huge.
It's huge.
It's huge. It's
Yeah.
huge. It's huge.
It's mad.
That's the reason Ranveer Alawadia shifted from English to Hindi.
Yeah.
That is the reason he has also expanded the category. Right now he's recently only I saw that a new podcast came out where he was talking about ghosts and everything.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that okay, we are
stuff and
scaling
everything.
this
Yeah.
particular thing. Now, from a business centric perspective, it makes more sense because why I'll tell you. In India, if you create content around ghost, supernatural thing, you can syndicate or sell that IP to any RJ and put it in a radio FM
Okay.
ka web channel. You can syndicate that into any audiobook in Kuku FM or anything, and these people will take it. So the opportunities that lie in this content is huge. One.
Okay.
Second, it crosses age barrier. A housewife can hear it. Anyone 18 to 24, also 60s plus can read it.
Yeah.
But will a housewife in a smaller town care about what Bhavish Agarwal is doing? Not really.
Nahi,
So that's the whole trickier part, and that's
I
how they
even
have
see
scaled.
that they're also moving more towards spiritual stuff like yoga. Ye,
I think it's his
all that.
personal. I think it's his personal interest. But there are two different things. Spirituality is still a niche domain.
Yeah.
Supernatural cult topics are like you talk about कि okay मैंने भूत देखा thumbnail ठीक है, it will work versus if you write क्या भगवान सच में होते हैं, it will work slightly less.
Yeah.
And then you write कि okay भगवान ढूंढते कैसे हैं, it will work slightly less. So it just keeps on doing. But I think what is interesting is they have figured out कि okay कहाँ पे audience है, कहाँ पे mass है. And
I mean, it's similar to what you do at work, like you were saying,
Right.
like I mean, keywords, kya hai, ye kya hai,
Correct,
what do
correct.
people actually want? They would have, I mean, like they're at this stage where they have the money to like go and like hire people like to just research
exactly
on content,
Exactly.
what to do, like what you did for
Exactly.
Nutshell.
They have data analyst. Ankur Wariko has
Exactly.
a data analyst who does great stuff. There is a reason.
I know a few people who even like I mean like a few creators that I manage on LinkedIn. They told me that I worked with Ankur Wariko in
Right.
researching topics
Right,
for him. I'm like, wow,
right,
okay.
right. He has a good research team.
Yeah.
There is a reason he posts whenever he posts out कि okay घर लोन लेना चाहिए, घर खरीदना चाहिए.
हाँ.
He knows that there is a big search volume.
Yeah.
And the search volume is coming on Google search
हाँ.
plan. So you can just like look on Google. There is a tool called Google Keyword Planner. There is a tool called Uber Suggest. There are a lot of tools. You can just do those tool search, and if anyone is looking on Google search, for sure उसका searches निकलेगा YouTube
Trends
पे.
में भी ना, like I mean Google
100%.
Trends also a great like way to
आपको मिल जाएगा demand, and then you do that stuff. I think that they're killing it. Ankur Wariko like I think by far, if I admire a creator,
bro, he's the OG creator.
True,
like
true.
he actually started from LinkedIn, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wariko Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Wariko Wednesdays. I used to follow
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah. So what about LinkedIn? Since we spoke about
Right.
LinkedIn, what are some of the biggest creators on LinkedIn doing that's standing out to you?
Let's talk about frameworks. What I have seen is, okay, for a long time I have been following Vaibhav Sisanti because he was the first person to come on my feed.
Yeah.
And I think also he was the first person to maintain a consistent engagement number, which was pretty big in India.
And that's why he could even like start. I think his growth school thing would have also started because of LinkedIn, like his
Correct.
LinkedIn masterclass and everything.
Correct.
He got a lot of things. They were like, "Acha, like why don't I just
हाँ.
diversify?"
Correct.
हाँ.
It's the largest selling course. Like
Bro,
बहुत sell होता है वो
Yeah, I mean,
particular
like,
चीज.
but-
I did enroll just out of curiosity to find what it is.
how's it?
40% I knew already,
Huh.
but rest 60% was like damn nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
तो it depends on the context. Like if you have been doing LinkedIn for 4 years, आपको पता है, then आपके लिए नहीं होगा.
हाँ.
But let's be very honest. This wave when everyone was sitting at home and remote, there was a lot of new people coming in.
Totally.
पूरा course उनको बेचा गया because it had no idea how to fix it,
Yeah.
and it helped a lot of people.
हाँ.
So he does great content, but I had a word with a lot of people. I had a word with Uttam Gupta, who also does
I know Uttam.
good content.
He's also in
and
growth school, no?
correct. And he told me his framework is okay. He will do one particular niche kind of stuff on one day, and top 10 Chrome extension helpful stuff on another day, which is Masi, and then a random content that is not on marketing on another day. So that's one framework.
I think there are these, like what I tell all creators as well, there are 3 pillars
Right.
of content on LinkedIn that I've seen works well, right? The first one is your niche content, like what you like to talk about, what your personality is that. The
Correct.
second thing is trending topics, whatever is trending in the news. The
Right.
third thing is these learnings and these like gyan and all that.
Correct.
Those are like, there are
Correct.
people doing that.
Correct.
But I don't know, like, I mean, I wouldn't endorse that because
What do you think of happy pictures? People are posting pictures of their own, and then the text
I
is
know,
completely different.
I mean, like,
What is this happening?
I don't know. It's just working for them.
Huh.
I mean, like, and
It's
these
working for everyone. I don't know. I don't know
controversial
how.
stuff also. Like, I mean, some people be like, they promote hustle culture,
Right.
and the whole comment section is blown up,
Right,
and it
right,
goes viral.
right.
Right.
No, but it's so right now. What I see is there's a lot of friction happening on LinkedIn. Like a lot of friction happening on LinkedIn. There's this people okay, this is right, and then this is wrong. I try to every time my biasness kicks in content.
Yeah.
I try to just stay quiet for some time and just do that particular thing. Okay, if 1,000 people are liking one content
Yeah.
and 20 people are not liking one content, the content is good. I am not the right person to watch that content.
True.
So it's not the content that is bad.
Yeah.
And every platform has done
And
great
as
thing.
you mentioned, right? Like, I mean, you're not the audience for that
Exactly,
particular
correct.
content. Like, remember, like in one conversation when we were having prior to this, you mentioned like, it's not the content is bad. It's just that it's not for you.
You're not
And
the
for
right person.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing.
True. What is but what is more interesting is I think it's the people at the end of the day. It's the same person who is watching LinkedIn, same person who is watching Instagram.
Yeah.
So if something has worked on Instagram,
Yeah.
will work on LinkedIn, will also work on Twitter. So you have to just repackage it.
I don't think so. Like, you know what? Like, what I've noticed is like what I've noticed is that something that works on Instagram. Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, repackage in the
Repackage
sense
you
like
have
you
to.
can't really like just put the reel and with one line
Correct.
and just put it.
Correct.
You need to like explain that reel
True.
on LinkedIn, break it down because
True.
people don't really like, even now, like people don't really like watch videos as much. There are creators.
Correct.
Varun Maya is a really good
Right.
video creator on LinkedIn.
Right.
There
But
are
he
creators-
just takes the YouTube and
yeah, but
directly
doing
dumps.
well, bro. He went viral. One of his videos on Amazon something went
Right.
crazy viral.
Right.
Just on LinkedIn, and I was shocked. I was like, LinkedIn में video viral होते हैं?
Because what has been the major challenge for me is okay, text डाल देता हूँ, impressions ज़्यादा है, video में क्यों नहीं आ रहा है? And then I'm like confused कि okay, video should work more. But yeah, that has been my challenge also. But I think what ends up at the end of the day for me every time whenever my biasness kicks in is again the same thing, that how much time it takes for the person to watch a video
Yeah,
is slight effort.
yeah,
I will respect 200 people watching the video with slight effort versus randomly kicking in 15,000 impressions on a content.
exactly.
Because I know that these people are watching my content.
True.
They will remember.
True.
So-
You can build your community. that
Exactly.
way.
So metrics के पीछे के hidden meaning are very important for
Yeah.
me. Like extremely
Yeah.
important.
So Sindhu, like, what are your tips for budding people? Like you mentioned, you're already training like women in growth and everything.
Right.
So what are your tips for like people who want to break into this industry, the growth industry?
The growth industry. It's very scattered. One, just be sure about what are the designations. Just be clear about what are the designations.
Okay.
just be clear about what is a growth role, what is a marketing role, what is a performance marketing role, and have realistic clarifications and realistic expectations. A lot of growth roles are performance marketing roles.
Yeah.
Like the designation de diya hai aise hi, but you are doing performance marketing all out. And then don't complain after 6 months that, okay, why I'm not doing retention, why I'm not doing product and everything. And just approach it in step by step. One thing that I see a problem to the budding people, that they want on day one to do user acquisition,
Yeah.
plus referrals, plus retention,
करना है.
सब करना है.
हाँ.
वैसा नहीं होता है, और मैं सब अगर दे भी दूँ ना तो कर भी नहीं पाओगे. There is no time to do. User acquisition is so big.
Yeah.
You have to figure out what copy works, what visual works, what
Yeah.
ad works. Time नहीं मिलेगा. Second is, I think what I've understood after dealing with at least this is my third or fourth job with 5-6 founders.
Yeah.
And I'm including co-founders.
Yeah.
What I've understood is understanding how to deal with founders, and they're different in different companies, is a skill. Second, gaining trust takes time.
Yeah.
Growth is a trusted centric thing, because as I exactly told you that in growth you are responsible for the next round of funding. You are responsible for a lot of other things.
Yeah.
No one is going to give you on day one because they don't trust you.
Yeah.
You have to earn the trust.
Exactly.
For earning the trust, the basic model is simple. If you plan 10 experiments, be sure that at least 2 experiments work. If everything fails, then trust will be low. Then
Yeah.
don't expect something to happen. That is 2. And then don't ask for unrealistic salaries. Like what I've seen is people asking random salaries which makes no sense. And for think from a founder perspective that if you know a skill which no one else knows, you will be paid higher. One. If you have a proven track record which no one else has, you will be given a higher salary. Or if you are in a certain function that gets money into the business, then only you will get high salary.
Totally.
If you are not doing this 3, just a random college pass out, no proven experience, don't ask for a 40 lakhs, 50 lakhs salary. Doesn't make any sense. And read a lot. Like I can bet till now, I don't know why. Maybe I think it is coming from my inquisitiveness by default, that I study a lot of things. I guess 3-4 hours I study per day at this point of time. Also, I'm doing since a long time. On LinkedIn, I'm consistent since 2017. मतलब हफ्ते के एक post तो जाएगा.
Wow.
So now you could say that okay, my burnout should be on a different level. कि 17 से कर रहा हूँ, अभी मेरे को 5,000 likes क्यों नहीं मिल रहे हैं? But I know my fact कि okay, I don't want to dilute my content. I'm not aiming for 8,000 stuff, 8,000 likes. I know 100 likes आएंगे, 100 के 100 founders के होंगे, उनमें से 2 मेरे को consultants मिल जाएंगे, consulting मिल जाएगा, job मिल जाएगा. I'm done, I'm happy. So I'm not doing unrealistic stuff. The exact same thing is this, that do talk to a lot of people, get mentorship, pay for mentorship. One thing I do is I find out people on LinkedIn who are good and just randomly ping them and say that, hey, can you teach me for 1 hour? I'll just pay you 5,000, 3,000.
Wow. Okay.
And that is the best strategy till date. I started this 2 years back.
Like learn what?
Anything. Like let's say for an example, I know a guy who is Hotstar ka performance marketing. So I can learn performance marketing, how it happens in an OTT. So I'll just tell him that, hey, can you just tell me how you run Facebook ads on OTT? And I just give him questions, teach me for 1 hour, done, take money and go.
Love it. Nice.
So that's what I generally do.
And you mentioned about reading, right? Like, so what are some of the books that you would recommend?
There are a lot of sites I would rather recommend rather than books.
Got it.
I generally, so recently I started reading this book called The Cold Start Problem by Andrew Chen.
Okay.
Great book. That is a good book. There is a website called NFX, NFX blog, Network Effects. You can learn everything about network effects there. A lot of people don't know. There is a good blog by Andrew Chen. You can do. There is a good website called Freakonomics.
Okay.
There is a guy called Rory Sutherland. You can just Google him on YouTube. Google behavioral economics, whatever is there, just read it.
Got it.
So yeah, I just study random things.
Got it.
I started studying evolutionary biology by Stanford 1 year back. And when I completed the course, I was able to slightly better understand, okay, how I can use these concepts into marketing, because everything is interrelated.
Totally.
So yeah. I think becoming a polymath and becoming just curious, absolute curious,
Yeah.
will be able to make you a better person, like way better than me for sure.
Love it, man. Awesome. Okay. So before we end, we have a fun game, okay? But this game is called Rapid Brew, and in which, so I'll shuffle a few cards. Whatever question comes up, like you answer that, okay? In 5 seconds or less.
Okay. I hope these are not hard questions.
Nah, these are all very chill questions. Don't worry about it. First, pick one. Or if you want to break the deck, whatever.
Okay.
What's the question?
What's the one thing you always have fun doing? Content creation.
Okay.
Creation. Ad writing also.
Ad writing.
I write. My zone is comedy ad scripts.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
Love it. Next. We'll do 5 of these.
I'm just picking from middle. I
Anything.
don't know why. What does create economic opportunity mean to you? Okay.
Okay.
Create economic opportunity.
You can skip it.
I think. Okay. If I understand what it means, I think it means
Skip
to
it
create
to
more
it's
wealth.
Actually, LinkedIn.
Acha. But what does it mean? Opportunity cost wala kuch hai
So
kya?
LinkedIn's main thing is create economic opportunities for people in the world.
More jobs.
Yeah, more. It could be jobs. It could
More
be
wealth.
gigs.
Got it.
Whatever, like
Got
via LinkedIn, right?
Got
So the tagline is, the main vision is to create more economic
Acha,
opportunities.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
Finish this sentence. I feel connected to my purpose when I'm free.
when you're free.
When I'm free.
Nice. Okay.
I'll just pick from top.
Yeah.
Share something that has brought you joy recently. As so मेरे घर के पास एक park है. I was just walking. I recently started doing 3 new things,
Okay.
which is actually helping me and keeping me happy.
Mhm.
I started reading about body science. Like I'm extremely passionate about body science because I'm slightly more health conscious. Learned about what sugar does to your body,
Yeah.
why proteins are important,
Yeah.
and how much protein is important.
Yeah.
Then I figured out okay, the massive amount of protein deficiency people have, and they don't know
Yeah.
what is the protein intake that they should have,
Hmm.
depending on the jobs that they do, depending on whatever they do. So I started decreasing the sugar, like straight cut sugar.
Okay.
It made me more happy actually. I
Wow.
can see the bigger difference. Second, increase your protein intake. It made me even more happy. Did workout at stretch, proper stretching and everything, made me more happy. But what is more interesting is I'm counting the steps in the night, in the evening.
Uh-huh.
तो मैं walk कर रहा था park में.
Uh-huh.
I saw a dad and a child, and just the look on the face. That is the happiest joy or whatever you say I can ever see.
Wow.
And I don't think anything will replace that. Like you give someone 1 crore, you give someone 1 million views, you can't beat that. You
Yeah.
just can't beat that. I think that
Yeah.
is the most nicest
it.
happy thing I've ever seen. Yeah.
Amazing, yaar. Last.
Name a song on your playlist that gets you energized. There is no song, but so what I do is there is a genre called trap music.
Okay.
I just type trap music mixtape.
Uh-huh.
I just listen.
I have this playlist called
Mix.
Pump It Up,
Haan,
wherein
haan.
I have all these
It's on
rap
Spotify?
and everything. Yeah.
Haan.
Spotify. And I've just been something that I created. Like I have all these songs, and whenever I want to get in the zone, I sit, I listen to it, and I'm like, okay, now I'm here.
Acha, you listen to trap songs while working.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the ulta. I listen to lo-fi when I'm working and trap songs when I'm working
Oh
out.
man, yeah.
I'm a lo-fi guy
Nice, dude.
when I work.
Love it. Perfect, man. It was fun talking to you.
Same,
Got
same,
to learn
same,
a lot.
same,
What are your closing thoughts? How do people find you?
Everywhere. LinkedIn, Insta. LinkedIn, my response could be slightly low depending on how your text comes.
Yeah.
If it's a random text, hey, how are you doing? I don't know you to say
Yeah.
how am I doing. Or if a text, okay, glad to add you in my network, doesn't make sense.
Uh-huh.
Write a good line, I'll respond. Or Instagram. But I'm everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, wherever you can ping me, you can find me. Yeah.
Perfect. And if you guys want to find me, you can hit me up on LinkedIn or look us up on Brew Your Market on Instagram. Just ping us over there. Great, man. It was fun talking to you. Got to learn so many things.
Same.
Yeah.
Good
See
chat.
you all
Good
in the
chat.
next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.